Ever heard of Roswell? Of course, you have. But what if I told you that Brazil has its own Roswell? An incident so bizarre, so detailed, and with so many witnesses that it makes you question everything you thought you knew about our place in the universe. Welcome to Varginha, a small city that, in January 1996, became the epicenter of one of the most compelling UFO cases in history. In January 1996, the city of Varginha, located in the southern region of the state of Minas Gerais, Brazil, became the center of one of the most famous and debated UFO cases in the world. The events took place over a relatively short period of time and involved multiple civilian witnesses, military personnel, healthcare professionals, and local authorities, contributing to the case's national and international notoriety. The most widely known episode of the case occurred in the afternoon of January 20th, around 3:30 p.m., when three young girls were walking through a vacant lot in the Jardim Ender neighborhood. As they crossed the area, they claimed to have encountered a creature of non-human appearance, crouched near a wall. According to their accounts, the creature was approximately 5 feet tall, had brown or grayish skin with an oily or sticky texture, large reddish eyes, and a head disproportionate to its body. They also stated that the being had 3 protrusions on its head and did not behave aggressively, appearing instead to be weak or frightened. In the days that followed, many residents reported seeing an unusual presence of military vehicles, army trucks, and fire department units circulating in specific areas of the city. One of the most frequently mentioned locations was the area where the girls had encountered the creature, as well as local hospitals, particularly the regional hospital of Varginha. They described it as being about 5 feet tall, with thin, fragile-looking limbs and dark brown, oily skin. It had a large, oversized head, no hair, and what terrified them the most were its eyes, huge, red, and seemingly without pupils. The creature appeared dazed, maybe injured, and emanated a strange, strong odor. Terrified, the girls ran for their lives, their screams echoing through the neighborhood. Liliane and Valkyria's mother didn't believe them at first, dismissing it as a childish fantasy. But when she went to the lot herself, she found strange footprints and smelled that same overpowering, ammonia-like odor. The girls' terror was real, and soon, the entire city of Varginha would be caught in a whirlwind of unexplained events. But the story didn't start with the 3 girls. Reports suggest that something had happened earlier that same day, or perhaps the night before. Locals reported seeing a strange, cigar-shaped object flying erratically across the sky, trailing smoke as if it were about to crash. The North American Aerospace Defense Command, or NORAD, allegedly detected an unidentified object entering Earth's atmosphere over Brazil, prompting them to alert the Brazilian authorities. Could this have been a craft, and was the creature the girls saw one of its occupants? This is where the military comes in. Almost immediately after the girls' sighting, witnesses reported a massive military and fire department presence in the area. Trucks and soldiers swarmed the neighborhood, cordoning off streets and warning residents to stay inside. It was a lockdown, but for what? Rumors began to fly. One of the most persistent stories involves the local fire department capturing a creature, matching the girl's description in the very same vacant lot. According to these accounts, the creature was subdued with a net and placed in a wooden box. It was then handed over to the military. But it seems there wasn't just one creature. Another report claims a second creature was found lying on a road on the outskirts of Varginha. This one was apparently deceased, having been struck by a vehicle. The military allegedly recovered this body as well. So now, we potentially have 2 alien beings in military custody. Where did they go? The trail leads to the local hospital. Several staff members at the Humanitas Hospital in Varginha later came forward with extraordinary claims. They said the military brought a strange, non-human patient into the facility, clearing an entire corridor and demanding absolute secrecy. One of the creatures, the one captured alive, was reportedly taken for examination. Doctors and nurses who encountered it described the same features: the large red eyes, the brown skin, and that pungent smell. The creature was said to be weak and passive, not showing any aggression. The hospital visit was brief. After a short period, the creature, along with the deceased one, was allegedly transported to a larger, better-equipped hospital in a nearby city, and from there, to the University of Campinas for a full autopsy. One of the most tragic and mysterious parts of this story involves a young military police officer named Marco Cherez. He was allegedly part of the team that handled the initial capture of one of the creatures. Accounts say that he touched the creature's skin with his bare hands. A few weeks later, Cherez fell gravely ill, He developed a severe infection that doctors couldn't identify. His condition rapidly deteriorated, and despite their best efforts, he passed away. His family claims that just before his death, he told them his illness began after he came into contact with something strange during a secret operation. The official cause of death was listed as a bacterial infection, but his family has always believed he was a victim of the Varginha incident, silenced by an unknown extraterrestrial pathogen. As you can imagine, the Brazilian military has consistently and vehemently denied all of this. Their official explanation for the events of that day is almost comical in its simplicity. They claim the creature the girls saw was just a local homeless man, known for being mentally disabled, who was crouching by the wall to relieve himself. They said the massive military mobilization was simply a routine transfer of personnel. The strange craft in the sky, weather balloons or other conventional phenomena, and the death of Officer Marco Cherez, a tragic but unrelated medical case. But these explanations have never satisfied the researchers, the witnesses, or the public. How could 3 young women mistake a human being, no matter his condition, for a large-headed, red-eyed creature? Why would a routine troop movement require cordoning off entire city blocks and involve the fire department? And what about the dozens of other witnesses who reported seeing strange lights, military trucks, and unusual activity all over the city? Key researchers like ufologist Vittorio Paccaccini spent years gathering testimonies. He interviewed over 100 people, from civilians to military personnel, who spoke on the condition of anonymity. Their stories were remarkably consistent, painting a picture of a massive crash, a recovery operation, and a subsequent cover-up. Paccaccini even claimed to have received confirmation from sources within the military that the events did happen, that 2 extraterrestrial bodies were recovered, and that they were eventually handed over to American authorities. The Varginha incident is a puzzle with many missing pieces. Was it a case of mass hysteria fueled by a chance sighting of a local man in poor light? Or was it a genuine extraterrestrial event, a Brazilian Roswell, that was expertly and ruthlessly covered up by the authorities? The witnesses have stood by their stories for over 2 decades, never wavering, despite ridicule and official denials. The city of Varginha itself has embraced its strange legacy. You can find statues of the alien creature, UFO-themed bus stops, and even a flying saucer-shaped water tower. It has become a part of their identity. The truth, whatever it may be, remains elusive. The official documents that could shed light on the matter are still classified. The key figures in the military and government remain silent, but the story lives on, passed down through eyewitness accounts and the tireless work of investigators. It serves as a powerful reminder that sometimes the most incredible stories might just be the ones that are true. What do you think happened in Varginha in 1996? Was it a misunderstanding or a remarkable and profound encounter with beings from another planet? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the world's greatest mysteries. See you next time.